Started with the deliberations from Head Aquaculture, West Coast, Mr. Nitin Nikam, and the highlighted points. I'll just read out the points. Research design should follow requirements of the field. Quality broodstock development is the need of the hour. Well-trained, qualified professionals are required in the field, and marketing strategy should be oriented towards domestic market. The second speaker was Mr. Ramdas P. Sande, the chairman West Region Maharashtra Rajya Machimar Sahari Sangh Limited. And the points that emerged were the government should give equal importance to fishers as that of agricultural farmers in terms of interest rate on loans, availability of funds, subsidies and loan waivers. He urged the role of NFDB in development of Maharashtra fisheries sector, especially marine sector, is very negligible. Funds are not reaching to the real stakeholder and remain unutilized. The third and the final point, what he said was, he also suggested to involve representatives from fishermen community in policy making, and he urged to improve the number, hygiene and infrastructure of landing centers in Maharashtra. The third speaker was my friend Dr. L.M. Murthy, who is working as a principal scientist and head of the center at Mumbai, CIFT. And he gave an overview of the various technologies developed by ICR-CIFT, and the major categories of technologies were value addition, engineering, and waste utilization. Then we had Sri B.K. Mishra, the managing director of Fish Profit, New Delhi, who made a presentation and urged to apply management consult to fisheries sector and stressed on the point that parity should be there between agriculture and fisheries. Though the scientists have done good work, there should be proper training and extension to take technologies to the end users. At the end of the session, we had Dr. Manoj Sharma. He's an MD and of Mayanek Aquaculture Private Limited, and he shared his experiences on shrimp farming. According to him, value addition is the only way to get out of the vicious circle of overproduction, and that is achieved through 3 P's: people, product, and planning. He said, if you want to add value to the nation, add value to yourself first. Be the change you want to be. And then we had session 2 on affordable technologies and feed issues. There were 3 speakers, including me, and the following points emerged. Technologies are too much, but most of the technologies are not percolated to the end user. Private sector is not confident about the technologies developed by the public sector, and foreign technologies are preferred over indigenous technologies. Hence, the perception of the people have to be changed. Procedural complications in government sector limits the access of technologies by the end users, and some of the technologies are half done. Hence, it is the need of the hour to come up with economically viable technologies for the sector. Any intervention in field, which is more than 60% of operation cost in aquaculture, can be reduced. There is a dire need to improve the hygiene and infrastructure of our markets and make them at par with the best fish markets in the world. Then we had a speaker, Mr. Virag Shivapuri, Chief Executive Officer, Plastic Craft Groups, Mumbai, who explained the journey of aquaculture development in the country through adoption of modern technologies from 1980 onwards. He explained the role of MPIDA, the government, the ICR institutes, in the development of fisheries sector in the country. He highlighted the requirements of professionalism in the following technologies. That is alternate species for aquaculture and the RA system and biofloc technologies. And the last speaker was Mr. Mukherjee from the Anmol Fields. He stressed that though there are several technologies in the country, most of the technologies fail when it comes to financial feasibility. In order to make fisheries industry a structured industry, the technologies developed should stress on value chain and financial feasibility. Dr. Dilip Kumar has suggested to have a separate session on this aspect. The third and the final speaker in the session was Mr. Dinesh Kumar Singh, Group Leader, Tata Consultancy Services, Research and Innovation. He mentioned about the requirement of the digital ecosystem with stakeholder meeting and highlighted the features of M-Krishi, which is highly useful for fisheries and other stakeholders. I think I just read out the inputs provided by the rapporteurs. I request the chairman to offer his comments.
Thank you. Can you take the third session comments also? Then give to my 5 points you can mention.
Point I have mentioned, I want to highlight here is a quality issue. When quality of the product, and it is totally depend on the where we are harvesting. When we take it's a marine, then the chain where we are disconnecting is a landing center. Though our fishermen are harvesting and bringing in hygienic way, when they are landing at the landing centers, it's really contaminating there. And we need to improve that one. And in aquaculture also, when it is harvesting, the proper harvesting and chilling needs to be done. To some agents to reduce the weight. I mean, if there is a water, then the weight of the shrimps will increase. So they are keeping the shrimps after harvesting 2 to 3 hours to drain it, and without ice. And so that is a really issue in post-harvesting aquaculture, where most of the quality is getting degraded. After that, they are putting ice and water maybe they do, but they cannot reverse the quality. Quality once is deteriorated, we can make it stable, but we cannot reverse it. That is one thing. So quality is the big issue to stay and sustain in the international market. And residue of the contaminants, that's agricultural contaminants, are antibiotics. Actually, continue.
Some points they have given 100. So Manoj Sharma to
Then residues are antibiotic residue or pesticides. Those all are issues we have to address it. Then in aquaculture we are more depending on a single species. When black tiger are there, there also we have done same thing, and in Vaname also. So diversification is the need of our, and whatever technology developed at ICR institutes, RCC, wherever it is available, we have to take it and implement it, so that over dependence on the one species will be minimized. Otherwise, if that species collapse, then total aquaculture sector will be collapsed. So we have to continue the business. So we have to diversify. Then some sanitary and phytosanitary norms of the importing countries. There is a technical barrier on that trade. This is something at higher level government have to take. Matter of the bilateral relations. Whichever countries were having the problems, how to insist government opinion to take up and solve the problems. Like China's mostly discussed here. Likewise, other countries also. Then to improve the profitability of the farmers, export have to go for the value addition, so that some portion of the profit they make out of value addition can be transferred to the farmers. With that, the farmer as well as the total industry can sustain. So at present, we are our chapter 16 exports is only 5%, whereas Thailand, Vietnam chapter 16 product exports is 60 plus. Chapter 16 is a value-added product, processed product it is called, and chapter 3 is almost all those are live, those are. So it is going and reprocessed, and it is it is reprocessed again. Otherwise, in the way of filtering mechanism. But it is not value-added or conveniently packed product. So conveniently packed product are exported in chapter 16, and our share in the chapter 16, total share of the chapter 16 our total exports is only 5%. So we have to think on that. These are all of my points, sir. And trade and export, in that Dr. Manoj Sharma, he stressed on need to reduce the gap between processor and farmers, and he urged government agencies to initiate talks with government of China to start trading of shrimps with India, and he requested farmers to strictly follow rules and regulations and guidelines to be successful. Myself, these are the things I already marked by my and Dr. Sanu Jacob sir, he stressed on importance of farmers' real progress of the field to be reflected in the research done by scientists, and he highlighted the export license process by export and inspection agencies. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nayak sir. This is already explained that what has happened, that was in detail. Out of this, so many points here, I have noted small 7 points. And these 7 points, what I understand, that CIFE needs to take follow-up action on that one. If Agricourt and many, that we have so many partners, if they are able to come that. But something take away from this, from these points, I have noted 7 points. But before coming to that, I would like to thank profusely Director CIFE and CIFE team and students, and also Smart Agri-Post for organizing this workshop, where immediately after forming this ministry, perhaps we all take this is the first opportunity that we are here. We have interacted freely, informally, and then we have really just come up with very, very valid points. And this is a very critically important time when we have a ministry where both the secretary and ministers are not really adequately exposed to the reality of our sector. And that time, really this is a very important time that really we should give them, we should brief them, we should expose them, so that you see they start thinking the way those stakeholders, that you see they are already what type of problem they are facing, what are the bottlenecks and what they expect, what type of policy reform they would like to have. So all those things are brought into their attention. So the first thing what I understood, that there is a problem of coordination. Now after creation of this separate department of fisheries under Ministry of Livestock, Animal Husbandry, Dairy and Fisheries, so this has become a separate entity. So coordination is a little bit difficult because we have brought it from a broader framework of agriculture. So coordination is very, very important. Second thing, you see, for the sector we have 8 research institutes, and that is under ICR. That is the really, you can say, lifeline of fisheries and aquaculture development in the country. Most of the knowledge generated there or technologies coming from there, we are making use of it for the development of the sector. Now they are already away, they are in the different ministry. So how just we are going to cope up with this, or what type of reorganization is required, so that we will continue getting their support even in a much better way, that will be one. And then everyone, many of them you have pointed out that you see we have only island. I would not say that island. It is all what is called that you see their own kingdom. So everyone they want that this is my kingdom. Nobody should intrude inside. Nobody should question me. And so that this is the really the condition. And this is the environment. And how under this how we can really come out or suggest something so that we can have a better strong coordination support available to the sector. This is one thing. The second one that you see started with the presentation by our managing director of Fisheries, Dr. Mishra Sahab. He explained about that you see this is the country where we have almost 20,000 or 21,000 primary cooperative societies. And then altogether something like more than 30 lakhs of primary membership. So just you see, this is such a big network. It's a very strong organization, and how just we are going to make best use of this organization that we have to see. The second thing is that see, we have also some constraints that well, many of these cooperative societies are really not running properly. Maybe that you see they lack that business management skill. If these cooperatives are not able to earn adequately and give benefit or dividend to the members, so that you see the members will lose interest and then we will really continue with that one. Second one, up to what extent we have the sense of democracy infused in the system, that also just to be like, so some of those things are there. And in the meantime, on the other side, there is the milk cooperatives that has developed so much and it is still really well supporting that sector. On the other side now, just we have a new type of organization has come up, that FPOs, Farmers Producer Company. So instead of registering them, these associations into Farmers Association into what we call the cooperatives, they have a different organization, different setup. Under that, under Companies Act, they are registered. On the other, just to see, we have also mentioned that now all proper open water fisheries and then public property resources, these are to be managed on ecosystem-based approach. And for that, we need to understand that, see, the resource user community, they are part of that ecosystem. And then the resource user community should be in the forefront of management decision-taking process. So keeping all those things important is important. Now it has time to come to rethink that, you see, what type of cooperative organizations we have. FPOs also, I know that I just told you that 20 FPOs, it was reviewed and none of them were able to give any dividend to their members. So that one is also. So we should develop, we should discuss, and CIFE, our knowledge center, I think just in association with FiscoFed or maybe some other organization, we can discuss so that we can identify the problems and we can come out with practical solutions and then all alternatives also. So I think it is required to the high time that we should discuss on this one. And also we can see that there are different potential areas where this Federation FiscoFed can play. The third one is finance. Really just to see, we don't much about finance, we are technical persons, and then Dr. Mukherjee, you explained today, being a finance personnel, finance expert, finance professional, and then it really just convinced us that there are, that you see, we need to look at this, the change, this chain of what is called where financial functions are involved. How best we can look at it, how best we can refine it so that we can reduce the cost and at the cost of interest, and then it can, and that will go direct benefit, the direct benefit to the farmers or primary producer, whoever it is, processor or primary producer. So that is also very important to understand the dynamics of this. I think that we should have one workshop, and then he also said that they would like to participate or cooperate as a partner in arranging that one. And there also we need to bring the people, those who are in the policy, so they can understand, okay, these are the areas where we need to work. Then only the associate, accordingly they bring changes, appropriate changes in the policy. The fourth one, I think it is about that clarity, our clarity about aquaculture. Clarity whether it is at par with agriculture or not. So one policy what you have talking about marine fisheries, you talked about marine fisheries policy, because they said that it is not under the policy because marine fisheries policy is already accepted. While inland fisheries and aquaculture policy, it is already there in the final form. They were examining it, but there it is not. But there we have recommended that the aquaculture should be treated at par with agriculture. But it was valid when, because this was a part of Ministry of Agriculture. Now we are separate. We are part of say Fisheries Ministry. So may not be that they can follow that one. They can say that okay, our requirement is different. We will be recommending something. So we want clarity, and for that I think I understand that you will have many other points also, the policy reforms point, and this is the right time when the policy is still under consideration. We can deliberate, discuss, and after that we come out with certain practical recommendations. The other one is technology. There was a very good presentation by Mr. Virat Shivpuri, yes. So he explained like somebody came out that if you go for say RAC, you will get 25 kilogram per cubic meter of production. So it can convince anyone. It has convinced the minister. It has convinced, might have convinced even the secretary. But not single of our research institute have recommended this one. No, we have not recommended. We have not, from our side, no one has recommended, but they are the associate, and there is a big subsidy, up to 30 lakhs of subsidy for one unit. So now there is a lot of, about something like 100 RSCs are already there, and perhaps none of them is really working on, say, economically viable basis. So what he said that it is something intermediary, it is the intermediaries, those who are promoting it and those who are selling it, they are making money. But those who are those who are really just coming up, either they are trapped or they are able to recover money from outside somehow. Okay, we will have to see that whenever we recommend or we accept any technology, that has to be vetted, it has to be treatment, it has to be thoroughly tested or at the ground level, and then only, and well, in participation with our research institute, and also maybe that you see private sector like Anmol, you have already told that you will be ready to participate in that one. And if they found it's okay, its economic viability and technical feasibility is adequately demonstrated, okay, it is vetted, it is cleared, and after that it can seek something incentives from the government, but it has to be done. Otherwise, many people will be trapped under that. So with on 6-7 points are there, and these are to be taken up further. And then I think that our CIFE can take, if you are able to participate further, maybe some other partners are also there. So I would request Dr. Gopalakrishna sir, so that these points should be taken up. And it is also required. It is also required for our students. And this is the time that you invite our minister and all the secretary and discuss, deliberate, and also bringing all the stakeholders. And that will be a nice time. It's the right time to brief them. Thank you.
So I will be requesting Dr. Gopalakrishna, Director CFI, to give the concluding remark and wind up the program.